What's up guys, today we're going to be showing you how to replace a motor on a basic piece of equipment like this bread slicer. First thing you have to do is get access to where the motor is, so we removed all the covers already just so it's a little bit simpler. And now you'll see that there were 4 bolts that are holding this motor in. This motor makes a little bit of noise, probably has a bad bearing or the fan is hitting. You can hear it. So first thing we have to do is make sure that there's no power going to this motor, and then we'll start the removal process. So, first thing is remove the power. Next, we're going to remove these 4 bolts. So, let's get to that. Next up, now that you have 3 bolts out, you have this one in, we're going to turn it over to see how the motor is wired in. So make sure that we have some slack for the wires, which it looks like we should. Okay, so now it's time to remove that last bolt and remove the motor so we can get to the wires that are tied into the motor. Make sure you put the device on the side, or make sure the motor won't fall or break in any way in case you do want to reuse this motor later on. Now we have the motor out, we're going to unwire it. We're going to take these 4 screws out. Once again, make sure the switch is off and that it isn't even plugged in. And we're going to take these 4 screws out next. As you can see, we had water inside of the motor housing, so that's probably what's leading to our motor making noise. Now we just have to remove the wires from inside of the housing, and we'll go get a new motor and put it in. Okay, so here I started to realize that the wire that goes from the switch to the motor is going to be too short, so we decided to take out the wire and replace it with a new one. Don't need to show you guys the whole process, but basically, yeah, wire was too short, so need to put a new one in. Okay, now that we've made this cord longer, I know it's not the right color combination. The white is going to be ground in this instance. Okay, but now that we have it in the right order, I'm just going to tape it up green. And this cord is a little bit longer now. We're going to insert this cord with a watertight fitting there, and then wire it up, and then we'll bolt the motor in, and that's it. That's how you change a motor in like a few minutes. As you can see, we got our connector in. Next, we are going to attach the white to ground, which the ground screw is right back there. And then we need to attach black and red to these 2 leads, and we should be all set. Now, always making sure you hold your motor when you test it, and you also test your motor to see that it works before you go ahead and bolt it in the housing. I'm gonna put this cover back on and then put the motor back in. Lastly, we're just going to put our 4 bolts in and tighten them up, make sure all 4 are in, and then that's it. New motor's installed. Now this is one tight fit. I mean, the capacitor for the motor's right there, the reset button for the motor's right here, and it just barely is shallow enough to fit in this housing, but we got it to fit. Voila. Sorry, I forgot one step. So the last thing you need to know is you need to take this keyway that comes with the motor, put it there, take the piece that was originally designed to hold a blade, put it here, push them on, line them up the same way it was before, and then you're going to have to just tighten up some Allen key heads on the sides, and then you should be good to go.